What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today we're going to talk to you about SoFi. Another exciting day. I want to give you an overview of what really drove it higher, go over some of the data points and everything else that you need to know. But first, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off, SoFi did close 4.55%. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting the sense of FOMO finally kicking in where there won't be a pullback, at least up until the earnings. Visa earnings did come out better than anticipated. So I think right now SoFi is kind of in the clear. We do have GDP and PCE coming out in the later part of the week, but in reality, it seems like SoFi is hell-bent on ultimately heading to that $8 range, at least going into the upcoming earnings. Today, one of the biggest driving factors was PMI. Came in a little bit lower than anticipated, but it wasn't a complete horrible miss. So as you can kind of see right here, I'll quickly go over to that. So right here, as you can kind of see, it was 52. That was the estimate, and it did come in at 50.9. So it is above 50. So essentially still shows that the economy is strong and expanding, but it wasn't dramatically bad. And so I think in reality now, a lot of people are saying, hey, look, we didn't actually hit the forecast, so maybe there might be rate cuts. I don't know. It's one of those weird scenarios that is happening in the market. And like I said, any data that is coming out probably in the foreseeable future, people are going to spin it where it equates to either rate cuts or whatever else. So in reality, the market took this as a very strong positive, and I don't think anyone's really going to complain unless you're short. But shorts didn't really do all that much, so they did increase 102,000 shares. 17.52% of the free float is being shorted. Utilization is 71.28, and then cost to borrow average is 1.04. While I'm actually on Ortex, I did go over some of the big holders yesterday, such as BlackRock, Vanguard, what they recently did. I guess I went through it a little bit too fast, so I'm going to slow that down for you guys. So I'll just sort this based on the last report. So you can kind of see right here. So April 1st, you had ARK. So that was 14.25, Vanguard, BlackRock, State Street. So you guys can kind of just pause it and read through it. If you guys are curious, I will go through this one by one. So this is all of ARK's ETFs. And again, you can pause it. This is all of Vanguard's. So this is page number 1, and then just a couple under that. And then this is BlackRock. My apologies if this is boring, but sometimes I do speed through things and I get it. You guys want to read all the data, and I completely agree with that, right? So this is ultimately a lot of the other larger names. So this is page number 2. So I think overall, big money has been accumulating over this last little bit, and it was very interesting to see JP Morgan in Q1 did actually return or kind of sell out 6.8 thousand shares. So they recently did give a good rating, and so I think that might insinuate they would have bought in this quarter. So we'll just have to wait and see. I think we'll probably have to wait up until August, give or take, to find out what they did, but no matter what, I think this is a pretty positive thing all in all. And yeah, so I think this is a good thing. Good old Anthony Noto as well, 391. Imagine, I get there's a blackout, but if you do schedule it, imagine if Anthony did buy leading into any upcoming earnings, whether it be this one or in the future. Imagine the hype. That would be just like FOMO like 3.0. That would be next level if like Anthony ever was to do that. But beside the point, like I said, no news from SoFi today, no SEC filings, nothing along those lines. So just kind of piggybacking off of the broader market, as well as having their own FOMO level. Looking at options, a lot of money was getting into SoFi through options. 5.06 million in calls, 3.21 million in puts. 53% of all the options being done today were optimistic and bullish. So if you guys don't know options, highly suggest in researching them. They can be very, very beneficial. And SoFi was able to clearly get above 750. So that does mean if they were able to close above 750 or where it currently is, then this is where you will see a nice bump up on Monday, earnings day. So it might be a very good correlated kind of scenario. Currently 23,000 in open interest at the 750 strike price. You do have 20,000 at the 8. So if SoFi is able to get above above $8 by the end of this week, then things will look very, very interesting. And plus, also on a side note, you do see abnormally roughly around $10, 18,000 at that $10 strike price. So maybe there's a lot of anticipation that SoFi will be at $10 by the end of next week, obviously encumbering their earnings. Looking here, so these are some of the transactions that did occur on the secondary market above $100,000. That's been something that started as of yesterday, so big money must have turned on the buy switch, and obviously is in turn kind of reducing the algorithmic trading. So big money is, yeah, they're watching SoFi. A couple of big ones, 8.07 million in that transaction, 1.48, 1.06, and that's not even counting the dark pool. Dark pool, as usual, was very active. So these are all the same transactions. So my apologies again for going relatively fast. I will go a little bit slower. So you do see a lot of repetitive ones. So 1.49, 1.48, 1.48. So no doubtably that is algorithmic trading as well. Coming from shorts though, that's kind of what is driving the broader market as of late. But with it closing at $7.58, it is now between this R2 and this R3. So it is kind of crazy to think almost like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks, it was on the low end right here. So it has done complete opposite spectrum. So the next target to watch for going into tomorrow, which after hours is kind of testing it, is this R3. So $7.62. So if it is able to get above that, then $7.75 will be the next target. And then if it can get above that, then $8, and then yeah, that's kind of all history from there. So I think bigger and better things will be coming down the pipeline. Like I said, tomorrow will be somewhat of a fairly good day linked to technicals. No data points are coming out tomorrow, and the market most likely will be really rallying due to Tesla earnings, just in my opinion. So I think that's going to really give a lot of hope to growth stocks out there. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. On the actual chart itself, today it did successfully transition from the lower to the higher percentile of the Bollinger Band, a very bullish deviation, so white line above the red, and as well it is at 31, so still somewhat debatable in being oversold. Number of retail investors didn't really do all that much, so it looks like a lot of the institutions were doing the heavy lifting today, not so much from retail. So if you are one of those very few individuals that did buy today, give yourself a shout out in the comments below. But aside from that, I think tomorrow will be a very big test to see if it does and is able to really transition into the higher area right here, or if it bounces off of that resistance and kind of trends down and consolidates, which could very much happen. Nothing really wrong with that. It's baby steps, but still very exciting times are ahead. Let me know your thoughts on SoFi. Give yourself a shout out. Did you buy? Did you sell? What did you do with SoFi? And with all that, appreciate all of you watching.